I eat corn on the cob. I don't eat popcorn. I love children, but I hate child porn. A bottle in the womb was where I was born. An alcoholic family left my mind torn. A tear in the fabric was the tear in my life. I'd never be a mother and I'd barely be a wife. I shot an AK-47, but I carried a knife. I was incubated in a home of anger and strife. Addiction was nothing but my family's cancer. I looked for the truth, but I never found an answer. I went to the party, but I'd never be a dancer. And for people like me, there's often no second chancer. I got to know poverty, I'd never be wealthy. And for most part of my life, I was mentally unhealthy. Too many nights of fighting and too little sleep. Hiding the child I was by not making a peep. Never owning anything that I could ever keep. I wanted out, but I couldn't take the leap. They say watch what you sow because you'll sow what you reap. But I couldn't even climb out because the path was too steep. May as well float away on a river of tears that I'd weep. But the banks of the river were too far away and the river too deep. My father was a thief and it's our lives that he stole. He abandoned his family so we'd never be whole. My mother's bitterness only darkened her soul. Our complete destruction was his only role. So I wondered about life and what the hell was the goal, because the life I was living was taking a toll. How do you go on living when it's your life that sucks? When you're the ugly duckling in a family of ducks? When the only luck you have is never-ending bad luck? When the attitude you pretend is that you don't give a fuck? Eventually you got to bury the pain deep inside. Wall off your heart where it will reside. Pretend it's okay, that it's you that you hide, until one day you wake up and realize a part of you died. And in the life that you're living, it's you that has lied, while you held your breath hoping for a change in the tide. And along the way you picked up a brand new affliction. You joined your family by engaging in a mind-numbing addiction. A mother drowned her sorrows while making you her partner. She poured her pain into you in a drunken open heartener, until you couldn't tell the difference between her or you, until you could no longer see a different point of view, until all men were bastards and that's all that you knew. And now you were a container for her bitterness too, dragging someone else's baggage too far of a distance, lost in the trance of my own lack of resistance, lost in a life with absolutely no definition, living in someone else's sorry rendition, far too screwed up to ever make the competition, stuck on repeat and caught inside the repetition. You'd hope somehow someone would notice and start a petition, because there's no way in hell I'd ever make the decision. I was deaf, dumb, and blind without any vision. I couldn't do the math, much less a revision. It's a place you get lost between heaven and hell, and I was going down, so I only fell into the depths of my misery, blinded by fate, until the face in the mirror became the source of my hate. Until somehow I figured that I just didn't rate. If I came looking for something, then I came far too late. Besides, the entrance was barred with too high of a gate, so if I wanted help, I'd just have to wait. But I was dying inside with time running out. I'd exhausted the limits of misunderstanding and doubt. I'd lost any belief in a life that was kinder, and if hope was out there, then I couldn't find her, because addiction only blinds you and I couldn't see. I couldn't even guess just who I should be. I was paying for the mistakes of my family tree. I didn't know the cost, but I'd still pay the fee, and the price was much higher than I could afford. So I bought a rope and made a noose of the cord, took the bottle of alcohol into the glass that I poured, tried to bury the person that I had ignored, woke up with the rope broken my face to the floor, and realized there wasn't much that I could take anymore. There had to be a way out, there had to be a door, there had to be a reason that I was being punished for, and if I couldn't die, then I'd have to survive, but I'd have to find a life where I felt alive, because in that moment I was suffering from a failure to thrive. But this was my life and I was about to go live, and that's what I did. I screamed and cried it all out. I was determined to find what this hell was about. out. I knew I'd die if I didn't, without a doubt. I'd been silent for too long, so I needed to shout. And that's what happens when you push it all down. The pain don't go away, it's just hanging around, until hell's the place that you finally found, where the extent of the pain can truly astound. I had to break the chains of addiction and just walk away, give the life that I was living and find a better way. Change the tune I was singing and find something better to say. Step out of the past and into today. So I fought myself into a better place, until it was me I came face to face. Not the person I buried under the dope, not the person who used because they never had hope, not the child born into the family that never taught her to cope, not the young person who tried to hang herself with a rope. I came face to face with the person I never knew, the child with a sense of wonder in her point of view, the child that could see both me and you, a child in a hurry because there was so much to do, so much time wasted, so much left behind, walking around with dark glasses until I was blind, searching for something that I couldn't find, so full of anger I nearly went out of my mind. But I found my way out into a world with more light, and the things that were wrong became the things that I'd fight, and the light of the day replaced the dark of the night, and the cloudy film of anger finally left and cleared up my sight. I got rid of my wrongs and finally found what was right. The gate finally came down to a manageable height. Life became a gift and no longer a blight. I began to living, I was no longer dying. I no longer believed that everyone was just lying. I wasn't just existing, I was actually trying. It was the wrong in my life that I was defying. I was finally awake, I was no longer denying that I'd become lost with the drugs I'd been buying. I now knew the truth that I once couldn't see, that it isn't so simple to find who you will be, that all people struggle, some worse than me, and that this world is much better when you and I become we.